Hello, what is up, friends and fam? Jessica here, aka Truthseeka, yours truly. I'm getting on here, seek the truth, speak from my heart. Still seeing how that feels as I say it. So this is the process with yours truly, Jessica Kissel, aka Truthseeka. I'm sharing all this with you because it is called The Process. And it's been a little bit difficult, honestly, to really share. Honestly, it's been a little bit difficult to share because I have been without housing. And I think that was, I really wanted to get on here and start, because the more that I wait, it's never going to get out there. There's always going to be something getting in the way, or there's always going to be something that keeps me from feeling ready to share. And I just wanted to have you all go with me through everything from the beginning. Can't have you start with me all the way from the beginning, because my whole healing journey has been, of course, like my whole life, but I'm just trying to keep you in the loop of where I'm at right now. I'm really excited to be getting my own apartment where I'll be able to set up my office and actually get structured in the topics that I'm sharing and the healing tools is what I'm really excited to share with you. Like what I experienced once I got into my healing journey, how I confronted that, where I started, where it led me, all the stuff. Anyways, that's what I've been telling you in all the other videos. But right now I've just been getting on and sharing small clips here and there because it's just been so frantic and all over the place. And it's kind of hard to be organized when you don't have your own living space. So I've just been doing my best about getting on here with you guys, but what really has been going on in the background, like as I'm looking for housing and still working without a house and without a place to be, while working and looking for housing, I have been I have been distancing myself from the service industry. So it's actually been a really interesting, remember hashtag snowflaking? If you haven't, go back to the video hashtag snowflaking and it will tell you a little bit about what that means. But basically hashtag snowflaking, well, you can hear the origin of how it was created or how I came up with the idea, but hashtag snowflaking was like really just trying to trust in the universe. Sometimes it's difficult when you're like without housing, without work, when the world's in a pandemic. It's sometimes it can be overwhelming and you want to just shut down, and everything has been quite an adventure, to say the least. But it has been super challenging. But I've been trying to just trust that everything is going to work out. The world as I look at it, for a moment I was feeling like what I was experiencing in this lifetime was the craziest thing that has ever happened. Like the pandemic, the whole world shutting down. That has never happened. Is the world gonna be okay? Is this the end? Is kind of what I was feeling at certain times. There were moments where I was like, is this the end? Is this it? Is like my positivity was dwindling very quickly. And I've always been someone who has believed that no matter what, we are going to come out of this in a good way. We're going to learn as human beings and as a collective what ways we can shift into making the ways that we run better for ourselves, everyone, and our planet. So for a moment there, though, I got really caught up. I was really overwhelmed, and I kind of was like a deer in the headlights for a while. But anytime I found myself getting stuck or not feeling like we were going to come out of it, I definitely went internal and tried to just be there for myself, calm myself down, calm my heart down, but also just be okay with not being okay. I think that's some of the things too, is like I constantly feel like I need to be this light. I felt like I needed to do all these things. And I was basically just patient with myself. That's what got me through in the beginning. Was at first I was overwhelmed. What do I do? How do I help? How do I help this Black Lives Matter movement? How do I help with these injustices? How do I help the world? How do I help the homeless? And all these what do I do? Where do I go? Just a lot of thinking. And that's, I think, where I kind of realized my thought, like getting caught in my thoughts and like, what do I do? What do I do? That was where I was starting to lose it and feeling like I needed to shut down. So pulling myself out of my mind and just like back into my body and back into my heart and telling myself that it's okay for me to at least just process what's happening. And also, like, just by being who I am, just by being alive, who we are and our energy fields are constantly still, we all are a collective consciousness. So just by me making sure that I was mentally okay myself, that would ripple effect onto other people. But if I kept getting frantic and thinking in my head, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? That was going to affect people, whether I realized it or not. Plus, I couldn't help people or anyone else or myself if I'm constantly in like panic mode. What am I going to do? How do I help? So I kind of just like, #snowflaking once again, like trusted that it is all going to be okay and allowed myself to be where I was at. I think that's one of the main things too, was like stopping so hard on myself, judging myself, feeling like there was something that I needed to do more. I accepted where I was at in that moment and trusted that with allowing myself to be where I was in that moment, it would allow for me to move forward. If I'm constantly not okay with where I am and I'm frantically figuring out how to get out of it, it's just like when you're swimming too, like when you're drowning, if the more that you splash around and the more that you freak out about what am I going to do, I'm sinking, I'm drowning, I can't swim, you're probably going to drown. But if you calm yourself down, calm your mind down and get into your body and relax and allow yourself to float and redirect figure out where you are and allow yourself to think logically instead of in panic and in fear, then it's just easier to, our bodies naturally and our hearts naturally know what to do if we stop overanalyzing it. So yeah, easier said than done, but it absolutely is where I feel like I had to continuously go back to. When I'm in my head, I'm overwhelmed. What do I do? Back into my heart, breathing back into my heart and my stomach. Everything is okay. I am in control as long as I stay calm. So that was one of the first things. And then I realized that the world has always been going through something. We're really, really young. The human, like the earth in general, is very old, but still really new. And human beings are one of them, like we're the youngest of it all. And so we have so much more to learn and to grow. And our world has constantly been there's, positive and negative always. There's been war. There's been, the Holocaust. There's been moments in history where I can imagine the people who went through it, what they were thinking and how they were feeling. They probably thought, this is the end of the world. Like, what is happening? What can I do? Especially during the Holocaust. I can't imagine tons of people being treated that way. And we're living through it right now. Like, yeah, there's so much that is happening. And I think it's also much more difficult because it's constantly being brought to us in our face with technology. As much as it's amazing and allows beautiful things to occur and for amazing connections to happen, it's a wonderful tool and it can be very wonderful, but there is, with anything, there's positive and negative. Not even positive and negative, but there's balance. Anyway, so what I wanted to come on here and say though, is that amongst all of this happening, trying to keep myself okay and calm in a world of disarray, the other thing I've been doing is, like, I was in the service industry. I was at a job that I really was not appreciating. I did not like being there. I was going there every day. It is super hot, by the way. If you don't, I hope you love my messy, I was gonna say Ariana Grande ponytail, but obviously it's too messy for that. Hers is always like whoop, whoop. Very, and super long. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. But this is, yeah, it's super hot outside, and so I put my hair up and went through a little sprinkler a second ago. So very nice, super needed, appreciate it. But yeah, so excuse my messy hair. I actually like it, so. But yeah, so I was going to a job that I really didn't like every day, and I literally was talking to my counselor, telling her how I felt. Like, I couldn't even be there. I was literally there doing the motions, but constantly in like anxiety and in my head, like, what do I got to do? How do I get out of this? Constantly researching, YouTubing things of how can I get out of the service industry. And I was going there every day, but looking into ways to step out of that. And as I was doing that, I basically was just writing down my story, what I've gone through, what I've experienced in my life. Because what I've realized it comes down to is, like, I can work in a job, service industry. That's what I got into when I was younger, and those are the skills that I've gathered. So I either stay with that because that's what I've grown the most knowledge and experience in. But it wasn't making me happy anymore. So even though it was it was what I was most, like, knowledgeable in. It's too hot. I'm putting my air conditioner on. Woo! See that sweat? I honestly love it though. I've been at the gym. I love sweating. I used to hate sweating, but now it's like, yes, it's good for the skin, purification of my body. Anyway, but yeah, I went to the gym, went to the sauna, and then I've been running around all day in the sun. So my body is perspiring. But yeah, so basically I kept realizing I was focusing on the things that I didn't like. I was focusing on my job, what I didn't like, didn't want to go into the service industry. And then I started thinking, I talked to my counselor and like some other people, and of course watching my self-development, Eckhart Tolle, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Deepak Chopra, a lot of other ones too. But what I'm told consistently, law of attraction, manifestation, all of that, is when we focus on what we do not want or the things that are not making us happy, we are going to create that. Our thoughts, what we think in our mind and what we say and the words that we repeat in our heads to ourselves, really, like, scientifically, they're proving it more and more each day. Like, our thoughts and what we think create our reality. No matter how much we want to deny it or argue that, or if there is anybody out there that does. Like, I know that we're not saying, it's not like I'm gonna think I want a purple popsicle and then a purple popsicle is going to pop into my hand like magic. But honestly, it is fucking magic. Like, the law of attraction, it honestly, I full-heartedly believe in it. But I do believe that there is a way or a style. I don't think that my way is your way, but I do feel that there is a personal resonance within ourselves of how to do this and how to make this happen. I don't think that I'm never here again to tell anyone what to do, how to do it, but what I can say is what I have done and what I have experienced, and try and share that and hope that it can resonate and spark something within others to find how to manifest and how to use your thoughts to create your reality, because it absolutely can be done. And I'm finding out more and more and more each day, and the more that I practice and the more that I align and attune with this, the more that my life, even with the struggles, because there will always be struggles, there's, positive, negative, light, dark, balance, however you want to think of it, masculine, feminine. I believe masculine and feminine. There is no bad or good, but there is balance. You're going to, but because of course there's going to be challenges. I don't want to live in a life where I am never challenged. I think that that's what we came here for, was to challenge, was to grow, was to learn, evolve, become the best that we can be. We only become the best that we can be when we challenge ourselves. Whoa, my hand looked really weird right there. Anyway, when we challenge ourselves and do new things and progress as individuals. And that's what I want to do, and that's what I want to help others do. So yeah, I'm just getting on here to let you guys know that what I've been doing throughout this whole time is I've been looking for housing and looking to get out of the service industry, which I'm already doing. I'm no longer in the service industry. I almost hopped into a different service industry job from the one that I was leaving, but even though I was so scared, I just didn't do it. I told Bagel Sphere, who I was working for, I put in my 2 weeks notice, and I had a different service industry job lined up to transfer over to. And the day before I was gonna go, the day I was supposed to go in, which I feel kind of bad, but the day I was supposed to go in, I called them and said, I don't want to come in. This is not the job that I want. I'm so sorry to have wasted your time. And I was so scared to have done that, but I honestly knew within myself, if I hopped back into what I keep hopping back into just because of fear, I was going to never open up a door for something else to be available. So even though I was super scared, I #snowflaked it and didn't go into the other job, quit my other job, and was freaking out inside. But thankfully, Grubhub, I at least found something though that I could do that I didn't hate completely. It was new and it was challenging, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna work, but I trusted that it would. And I also trusted that if it didn't work, I would figure out something else. So no matter what, it will work. No matter what, it will work. It just depends if you're willing to go through the challenges and through the hardships to find something different that will. But I stuck to it. I didn't take the service industry job. I've been Grubhubbing right now, which has been doing okay. It's providing me with income, but it still has been super tight. But then I also applied for a loan to put into a business, all sorts of stuff. I have to clock off of here and clock on to Grubhub. But basically, I hope you could get what I was trying to share, which is mainly I've been wanting to share more organized, but I've been homeless. So I figured I would at least share a little background of what I've been doing, since the videos I have been sharing haven't been so informative as I would like. I separated from service industry, even though it was scary, allowing for new things to open up. And I also, throughout this whole pandemic, throughout this experience, everything that has been really challenging, anytime that I start to get really scared or frantic, I go back to my heart and in my stomach. I notice a lot of the time I'm in thinking mode. What can I do? How can I do it? Fix it, action, masculine energy all the way, which is what we have been using for so long. So it's super hard to change that kind of action-based stuff. Has worked for a while, and so we're used to that. But I'm realizing now feminine energy, which is more of like going into your heart and going into your stomach and trusting and putting forth mentally and emotionally what you want, and focusing mentally and emotionally on what you want and believing that that will come to you. So shifting from masculine to the feminine, noticing when you're getting in your head and bringing yourself back to your heart and your stomach, which is actually your personal intention and intuition. Bring yourself to your heart and your stomach, your personal intuition and connection with yourself. And that's what I'm working on right now. I'm opening up a website, finishing my website, which is Pick Your Process, PIC Your Process, personal intention and connection, yourprocess.com. So I'm putting together a program and a coaching program course thing. I'm still finishing the details, but I am just basically taking my story, seeing how it can help other people, and then taking the baby steps to get it out there and to finalize and like materialize what is in my mind and in my spirit onto paper, into a web page, onto the social medias, where we can actually create a course. And I'm not just sharing random videos with you guys, but I'm creating something concrete that I can start guiding myself and others through, so that we can strengthen our personal connection, our personal intention and connection. That way we can move forward easier, smoother, choosing wiser choices, making wiser choices for ourselves, not for what other people tell us we should do or shouldn't do, and what society tells us we should and shouldn't do. Because we're starting to in my opinion, we need to move away from all of that and start creating new ways of doing things. And the only way to create new ways of doing things is by us individuals bringing forth our creativity, our passions, our stories out into the world, and inventing new things, new ideas, new processes. process. Anyway, so thank you for listening. I love you all so much. I got to get off here. I'm super excited to share with you guys what is to come, and I hope that this little random gist at least caught you up a bit or gave you something that resonates. Either way, stay tuned. There's a lot coming, and I'm super excited. Thank you all for being with me on this random little messy of a process. But that's what it is. The process is messy sometimes, but you gotta love it. You don't gotta love it, but I love it most of the time. No, I love it all, even if it doesn't feel like it at the time. But anyway, I love you all. Absolutely. Much love. Thank you, friends and fam. I'll see you soon.